Hello and welcome to Ask Amanda Now. This is our short Friday afternoon session where I can answer one Strata question for you. We put the call out here on the Facebook page earlier today. I sent an email out to you asking, do you have a question for me that I can answer here live today? We are heading out to the Your Strata Property Facebook page. We're going out live to LinkedIn. We are also going out to YouTube. How are you all this Friday? Have you had a fabulous week in Strata? I have had a busy week in Strata doing a little bit of travel. You may have seen I posted on the page earlier this week that I was traveling into Dubbo. I was flying Sydney to Dubbo. I had spent Monday at an all-day NCAT hearing, and then I was heading back to my home, which is in Mudgee. That is where I spend a lot of my time these days, and no flights into Mudgee that day, so I was flying into Dubbo. And then the plan was to jump in my car and drive. It's about an hour and a half drive to Mudgee, and then jump out of the car and deliver a webinar for a group of our pro members. Didn't all go to plan. The flight out of Sydney to Dubbo was about an hour delayed. So by the time I hit the ground in Dubbo, I knew I wasn't going to make it, or at least not make it comfortably, to deliver that 1 p.m. webinar from Mudgee. So called in a favor, phoned a friend, and that friend was Debbie Harry from Orana Strata Services in Dubbo. And I said, hey, Debbie, I'm in Dubbo, need a quiet spot, need a desk to run a webinar. Can I drop by your office and share that space with you? And she said, absolutely, of course. And Debbie is also a pro member inside our community. And it was just so lovely to catch up with her and to be able to have her support while I give our pro members my support. I just love that cycle, that circle, and this wonderful community that we have built. So that was my Wednesday, I think it was. By then, Wednesday in Dubbo, and now I'm here in Mudgee. I am not in my home studio. You may have noticed I'm in a different spot here. I'm not on the back deck either, not my back deck anyway. I am at a beautiful house just outside of town in Mudgee. I'll give you a little turn. You might have seen the pups in the background. This is the view that I am looking out to at the moment. Here, just stunning. And I'm actually lucky enough, there's Callum there in the background. That's my little boy. I am lucky enough to be spending the weekend here with some family, with some friends, doing a little bit of business, but mostly fun. It's my birthday this weekend. So we are having a bit of a celebration over the next couple of days. And I think, look, this is a special birthday, I have to say. It is a special birthday. I'll let you know. I will reveal. I'm turning 40. I'm turning 40 this weekend. So special birthday event planned. But I think regardless of what age you're turning, you should celebrate your birthday. They're all special. Many of you coming in and saying hi. Michelle is saying hi, Cal. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Diane is here with a question, jumping in with a Strata question. Yes, indeed. We're getting there. We're warming up here. There will be one Strata question answered here today. Kat is saying, do I see a grand piano in the background? I wish, Kat. It's not that sophisticated. What is in the background? I'm just trying to work out what you might have seen. It's a pool table. I'm pretty sure I know what you might have been looking at, or it was the dinner table, the dining table. I'm not sure. Or the barbecue. Maybe it was the barbecue. Not as sophisticated as a grand piano for my birthday. No. There's a LinkedIn user saying happy birthday. I don't have your name, sorry, LinkedIn user, but thank you. Kareem is saying happy 40th. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda's saying 40 is the new 30. Hey, I went and got a manicure this afternoon. There you go. And I said to the manicurist, haven't had a manicure since I got married, since my wedding. And that was 15 years ago. And the manicurist, God love her, said, you're not old enough to have been married for 15 years. And I said, well, yeah, I am. And I'm having my birthday this weekend and I'm 40. And she said, what? I thought you were 28. Very specific number, but yeah. She thought I was 28. So I said, you are my new best friend. Absolutely. I will take that. Can you write that down and sign it? Lots of fun. And manicure. First time in 15 years. Don't know how long that will last. Daniel saying, birthday buddies. Cool, Daniel. I'm the 25th. I'm the 25th. What day are you, Daniel? Diane saying happy birthday. Thank you. Kat saying even more exciting than a piano, a pool table. Well, the boys here absolutely think so. And Kat can play pool better than piano. Great. Teen bride, says Bill and Ben. Yeah, no. Perhaps, yes, that's what my manicurist thought. Definitely. Alrighty, we're here. The dogs are getting agitated. You can see them in the background. They've been banished to the outside. We are here to answer one strata question. And there was a great question posted here on the page that I think will be helpful for everyone to hear the answer to today. That's how I pick the questions. If we can get through them in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they are the type of question, the answer to which will help the most number of people, then I'm going to choose that question. And the question that I have chosen today comes from Alan. Alan's question is going to come up on the screen here for us. Thank you, Rochelle and Mina, who are here supporting me. The question from Alan is this: can the Owners Corporation place a time limit on the duration of renovation works, say 1 to 2 months? Interesting one, Alan. I am wondering if this is happening in your community, Alan. Is this something that your committee has proposed? Maybe there's a bylaw along these lines. Maybe someone's wanting to do a reno and we're a bit worried it might drag on. So wondering if we can put this time limit on. Really great question. I have to say it's not something that I've seen before. It's not something that I've seen a community attempt to do before, but I can really appreciate how this might be coming up now when we see more people in strata, more and more people than ever before wanting to renovate. Cost of living is going up. Property prices are as sky high as they've ever been. People are living in strata longer and they're wanting to add value. So I know definitely what's coming across my desk: drafting renovation works, bylaws, questions about renovation works, complaints about renovation works. There's definitely a lot of that work going on in our buildings. So I'm not surprised that this is your question and this is something that your community is turning its mind to. Now, here's the answer. All renovations are not made equal. You've just put in your question there, Alan, renovation work. What are we doing here? Is this major structural work, removing walls from inside a property, full bathroom makeover, maybe doing some work on the balcony, ripping out the kitchen, putting in new flooring? We all know, we've all come across owners in our communities or that we're serving who want to do that kind of major renovation. And because all renovations are not made equal, then it's important that, in my view, we don't have blanket rules on renovation work. It's important that each application for approval for renovation work is considered on its own terms and has conditions of approval applied to it that are relevant to that renovation. So I would be asking, in your community, what are the terms of the approval, if there is one yet? And do those terms allow the Strata Committee to make reasonable directions from time to time during the course of the work? So whenever I'm drafting approval terms for renovation work, I incorporate, whether it's into a bylaw or whether it's into a motion that is being approved by ordinary resolution at a general meeting, I include a clause or a term that says the owner must follow all reasonable directions of the Strata Committee. And that's kind of a cover-all, as blanket as you can get in a situation where I say we shouldn't really be applying blanket rules, but a cover-all if something crops up during the course of the renovation that hasn't been contemplated and that needs to be dealt with. And the Strata Committee needs to make a decision about that pretty promptly. And I think the duration of the work would fall into that category. So where we have work that maybe it was just the installation of hard flooring. So pretty straightforward. That should take a few days, really, with our fairly advanced methods we have now for hard flooring. Where that's dragging on, it seems to be taking weeks and weeks. There's a lot of banging going on. There's a lot of trades in the building. It's causing a problem. Does the Strata Committee, do the terms of the approval for the hard flooring include that the Strata Committee may impose reasonable directions from time to time, and the owner must follow those reasonable directions? Because the Strata Committee can at that point say, this work has been going on too long, it needs to finish, and it needs to finish on this date. A reasonable direction in the circumstances of that particular renovation. I would stay away from having blanket clauses in bylaws or clauses in approvals that put as you say there, Alan, a 1 to 2 month time limit on the completion of renovation work. I think that could possibly place the owners corporation in a position where the bylaw, if it was, could be challenged as being harsh. It's not a putting yourself as a committee into these black and white situations is generally not something that I recommend, and I think you should try to avoid and give your committee discretion to make directions, impose reasonable conditions from time to time, depending on the type of renovation work that's happening. Bill and Ben is saying easily frustrated by an external third-party contractor, for example. Absolutely. So that's right to my point there, Bill and Ben, that each case has to be considered in its own circumstances. We don't know why something may be carrying on for a bit too long, but if we've imposed a term that says reno must be completed in 2 months and it's not, and that owner is then automatically in breach of that bylaw, doesn't matter why, doesn't matter what's going on in the background, I think that is a difficult position in which to put yourself as an owners corporation. So I'd be trying to avoid that one. Excellent. Now, something I wanted to draw your attention to before I go is another time limit, or a time limit in our legislation, which I have overlooked before. And I'm not sure how many of you know that it's in there. It's relevant to renovation work, and I thought I'd bring it to your attention. I'll share my screen with you here. I think I've got it queued up. It is a section in our Strata Schemes Management Act in New South Wales, section 152. An owner must notify an owners corporation of alteration to lot structure. The owner of a lot in a strata scheme must not alter the structure of a lot without giving to the owners corporation not later than 14 days before the commencement of the alteration a written notice describing the proposed alteration. Interesting. So I've been asked before, Amanda, even where I have a bylaw that has been approved at a general meeting for major work, it includes structural alterations. Does that mean that when the bylaw is approved and I've got the go ahead, I still need to then give that 14 days notice? My view of that is that by having the bylaw on the agenda at a meeting and having that bylaw approved, then that meets that section 152 requirement, and you can tick off that your owners corporation has been notified. Just be careful that the bylaw itself doesn't then contain a clause that says, before you start work, you must do A, B, and C, including let the strata committee know, give 7 days notice, it may be 14 days notice, put a sign up in the lift, provide us with your final plans or drawings, provide us with copies of insurances for your contractors. Bylaws for major work often do contain those clauses, and make sure that even if you feel you've given the 14 days notice because the bylaw has been approved at a general meeting, make sure you are going back and having a look at those clauses in the bylaw and that you're complying with any other requirements, any other time limits that are actually within the terms of that bylaw. So section 152, Strata Schemes Management Act, don't forget about that one. It's deep in there, often overlooked, I think. We do have a link here for you that is going into the comments, so you can go and check that one out. And look, Alan is here, who asked our question here on the page earlier today. I will just bring Alan's comment up here. Hi, Amanda, back from overseas. Welcome back, Alan. I was chatting to the building manager and he commented that over the last year, the second lift of 2 was being used by 3 units, leaving only 1 lift being available for the 12 months. Okay, so this is sounding like there's a few renos going on in your building at the same time, which is always going to be disruptive. Speaking of disruption, that's going on. So that is, if the building is then thinking about imposing a time limit on completion of renovation work, that might not be quite the right way to solve that problem. It might be more so, don't start until someone else is finished. So a condition of approval is you must let us know when you want to start, and the strata committee may impose reasonable conditions on the approval of your start time, or the strata committee may let you know in its reasonable discretion when the start date of your work can be. And then the strata committee is able to say, look, don't start for 3 weeks because we've already got someone else who's doing a reno and we don't want to have someone renovating at the same time. Okay, thank you for that additional info. And I'm not sure if you were here earlier, Alan, but if not, you can absolutely catch the replay of this chat and hear what my guidance has been in answer to your question. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you to the many of you who are here live this Friday. It has been lovely to drop in, say hello, answer that one question for you. I'm going to head off now and just see what damage and destruction is happening here and settle in for a lovely weekend. I hope you too can do the same. And I look forward to catching you all next time. Bye for now.